the honourable member for Deakin.
Well, thanks, Mr Acting Deputy Speaker. It gives me great pleasure to speak in support of the Trade Support Loans Bill 2014. Look, a lot of speakers on the other side of the chamber have spoken about begrudgingly the benefits of the Trade Support Loan Program, and I must say offering apprentices $20,000 over the life of a 4-year apprenticeship, heavily front-ended to the first and second years of their apprenticeship, in my view, is overwhelmingly positive. And I have a lot of apprentices in my electorate, and indeed since the budget I've visited a number of training facilities and spoken to those apprentices. And you know, the $5,500 that was provided under the Tools for Your Trade program just wasn't enough. It just was not enough over a 4-year period. In contrast, the $20,000 that will be provided under the Trade Support Loan Program will offer those people that need more access to greater funding, and those that don't want to take it up don't have to. The beauty of the Trade Support Loan Program will be if you're in a trade that doesn't require the sort of additional support, or you don't need the additional income supplement that the Trade Support Loan Program would offer, you don't need to take it up. So again, I think members opposite, in a sense, want to, the status quo. 50% of apprentices, of people who commence an apprenticeship not finishing, they think that's acceptable. Increasing youth unemployment, they obviously think that's acceptable because they are offering no changes to the system that hasn't provided the sort of solutions that we need. And so business as usual just wasn't an option in our view. The Trade Support Loan Program offers, again, incentives for apprentices to ensure that they are provided a discount when they do complete their apprenticeship, a 20% discount on the face value of the loan taken out through the Trade Support Loan, a maximum of $4,000. So offering that kind of incentive, on one hand, I think is going to ensure that we head in the right direction of completion rates for apprentices. But again, the main point, and I think one of the big reasons we find apprentices unable to continue and indeed finish their apprenticeship, is because often, you're working ridiculously long hours, you're getting up at the crack of dawn, but you've got peers and you've got friends who might be working at McDonald's or Red Rooster getting paid more than you. And so it's very, very demotivating. It's very hard to continue working that hard for 4 years, and I think that's one of the big reasons why our completion rates for apprentices have been getting worse. The $20,000 Trade Support Loan Program goes a long way to improving that situation. There is great flexibility for what the apprentices can use the $20,000 towards. $8,000 in year 1, $6,000 in year 2, $4,000 in year 3 and $2,000 in the final year. So it's heavily front-ended to the years where the wages in the apprenticeship are the lowest. We think that's going to provide additional or assist apprentices to hang on in those first couple of years, and we know apprentices disproportionately drop out in those first and second years. So if we can help them get through that initial period into years 3 and 4, we think that we can increase the completion rates for apprentices, and that is what this program is all about. The status quo is not working. Members opposite talk about the requirement for apprentices. Well, 50% of people dropping out is not going to achieve that goal. It's hard enough to attract apprentices to start with. Once we get them in the door, we have to do everything we possibly can to ensure that they complete their apprenticeship. And that's why I'm very proud of the Trade Support Loan Program. There is nothing that trade support loans don't offer that the Tools for Your Trade did. There is nothing. The net present value of a $20,000 loan with a $4,000 discount is a hell of a lot more than $5,500 for Tools for Your Trade. So if it's simply a comparison between the two, which it shouldn't be, but if it's simply a comparison between those two programs, this is a good news story, and this is something that I think the Parliament should be agreeing to, not in a begrudging way, but actually happily telling our apprentices that we value you, we want to support you as much as we support those people entering tertiary study. The days of having apprentices as second-class citizens are over. People who have undertaken tertiary study have been able to access concessional loans, only repayable once they earn over $50,000 there or thereabouts, and we're offering that same opportunity to apprentices now. So this is a fantastic news story, and I'm very, very pleased to support it. And I understand, given that it is such good news for apprentices, that many of my coalition colleagues would like to speak on this bill, so I'll end my comments.